So friends, let's see today's lovely Goan style of chitki bhaji. Now first I've taken off the tips of the gavar and I've broken them into small pieces, and I'm going to put them in some water to which I've added salt. I'm going to wash them well, keep them in the water for about 5 minutes, then rinse it really well and drain off all the excess water. So our gavar is all ready. Now I've taken 2 small potatoes, washed them well, peeled them and cut them into half, and then I'm going to cut them into thick slices like this. And I'm going to soak it in some water so that they don't discolor. This is a very tasty bhaji, and I suggest that you really try out this recipe. It's super delicious and very easy to make. So our potatoes are also ready. Just keep them in some water. Then I've taken 1 medium-sized onion, washed it well, peeled it, cut off the edges, cut off the middle yellow. Again wash them and then just cut them into medium slices like this. And I've taken 1 tomato, washed it well, taken off the top and then cut it up into small pieces, just like the onion size. Similar, the potato, onions and tomato. Now I am also using 1/4 cup of freshly grated coconut. This is our potato, our onion and tomato ready. Now we also require some fresh coriander for grating, for garnish. 10 cloves of garlic that I've chopped fine, 1 teaspoon of jaggery. You can also use sugar, half a teaspoon of turmeric, cumin powder, garam masala, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder and coriander powder, and some salt to taste. So these are the ingredients. Now I'm going to heat up a pan and I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to drain off the water from the potatoes and I'm going to add the potatoes to this hot oil. Now we're going to fry the potatoes till they're nice and golden brown and crispy. So this took me about 1 to 2 minutes on a low to medium flame. Transfer the potatoes into a bowl. In the same oil, you're going to fry the chitki or the gavar. You're going to fry this well for 5 minutes, continuously stirring on a medium to high flame. We want to fry the gavar really well, and then once it's fried, take it out in a separate bowl. Now to the same oil, I'm going to add the chopped up garlic. And we're going to fry the garlic till it's nice and golden brown in color. Now we're going to add the onion and we're going to fry the onion well till it's nice and translucent. Next we're going to add the tomato and we're going to cook the tomato till it's nice and soft. Then I'm going to add all the powder masalas. Mix everything well, and I'm going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water because we don't want to burn the powder masalas. So I'm adding a little bit of water. Mix everything well. Cook the mixture for about half a minute. Now we're going to add the fried chitki or gavar. Mix it well. Add the fried potatoes. Mix it well. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste. Add the jaggery or gur. You can also add a pinch of sugar in place of the jaggery. It just elevates the taste of the dish, the sweetness. Now add 1/4 cup of water because we want to cook everything and let everything come together really well. Now you're going to cover and cook this on a low flame for 8 minutes, stirring occasionally. Don't leave it unattended, stir in intervals. The aroma is so amazing in my kitchen right now. Now I'm going to add the freshly grated coconut. Mix everything well. So this becomes into like a dry kind of bhaji. So it's very tasty with chapatis or rice and dal. You can also carry it in a tiffin with chapatis. Very tasty. Now just give the mixture a taste to see if any salt or sugar or any masalas are required, and you can adjust it according to your taste. Now I'm just going to cover and cook it for another little, about 2 minutes only, stirring in intervals. And now our vegetable is almost ready. We just need to garnish it with some coriander. So once it's ready, I'm going to turn off the heat. And now I'm just going to add some freshly chopped up coriander. And our lovely Goan style chitki bhaji or gavar bhaji is all ready to enjoy. I hope you give this recipe a try. So friends, let's see today's delicious bhopli mirchi peat peron. Now here I'm using one big capsicum. I've just washed it well, cut and patted it dry. Now I've cut the top off. We're going to use the part of the top also. And we're going to remove all the seeds and the white part of the capsicum or the bell pepper. We're not going to use the white part or the seeds. And then you're going to cut them into small cubes, even size cubes like this. Now this one large capsicum makes enough bhaji for about 2 people. So if you want to make it for more than double or triple the quantity. Now I'm going to chop up all the pieces, and now the top also I'm just going to chop as much as I can. Whatever pieces of the capsicum are available. We're not going to waste any of this lovely vegetable. And now our vegetable is prepped. Now it's very easy to make the rest of the recipe. So in a pot I'm going to heat 1 tablespoon of oil. Once my oil is hot, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of mustard seeds. Once the mustard seeds begin to splutter, I'm going to add half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, and half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now I'm going to add the chopped capsicum, and I'm going to fry this in this fodni for at least half a minute. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of red chili powder. You can alter it, you can make it less or more depending on your spice level. Then I'm going to add some salt to taste, and I'm also going to add a pinch of sugar. Now I'm going to mix everything really well together. And now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of besan or chickpea flour. So peat peron means, you're putting some kind of flour on the vegetable and making it. I have many recipes of peat peron. I'll leave the links below. There's kanda peat peron, there is methi peat peron, and they all taste really delicious. And there's a dry recipe, so it's very good to give kids for their tiffin or carry to office for tiffin. It's a nice, and the shelf life also is pretty long if you keep it in the refrigerator. And it doesn't have any onion, garlic, ginger. Now I'm just going to sprinkle water. Don't pour water, just sprinkle water. So I've taken about 2 to 3 tablespoons, and I'm going to sprinkle it and scrape the bottom because the chickpea flour tends to stick to the bottom. Again, I'm going to add some 3 or 4 more tablespoons of water and mix everything well. Now we just have to cover and cook this on a low heat for about 5 minutes, but keep stirring in intervals. Don't leave it unattended. Keep taking off the lid in intervals and keep checking on the vegetable. Now after some time you will see that the vegetable starts leaving the sides of the pan very easily, and also the besan starts to swell up a bit. It starts to become puffed up a bit. It looks a little bit like upma or something. It starts swelling up. Now I'm just going to add 2 teaspoons of clarified butter. So this is about after 5 to 7 minutes of cooking the vegetable. Now this ghee or clarified butter really elevates the flavor of this dish and just makes it even more tasty and delicious and light. So this is a very light and fluffy kind of a vegetable dish because of the besan that we've added. It has all the flavors of the capsicum and all the spices that we've added. Now again I'm going to cook and cover and cook this for about another 2 minutes, again stirring in intervals. And after some time you will see that whatever the flour is stuck to the bottom just comes off very easily because of the moisture of the water that we release, and the capsicum also does release a little bit of water. And now we're going to just add some chopped up coriander. The choice is yours. If you don't like coriander, you can leave it out. But at our home, we love coriander. Give everything a nice mix. Turn off the heat and your vegetable is all ready. This goes amazingly well with some hot puris or chapatis, even some rice and dal. And I'm telling you again, it's a great tiffin item. It tastes superb. So do try out this recipe, guys, and let me know in the comment section how you liked it. I'll catch you soon. This is Akshata signing off. Lots of love. Bye. today let's see how to make this beautiful Goan patal bhaji, and I'm also going to show you how to make whole wheat puris. So now I'm going to show you how I chop up the potatoes. I leave instructions of how to boil the potato so that it doesn't become too mushy. And then we're going to cut them up into even sized cubes like this, not too large and not too little. So I've just cut the potato, I've boiled it, peeled it, and then cut it up into half. And then I'm going to cut the top part like this, then again like this, and then now you can do this on the chopping board. I'm just showing it to you for the video. Especially if you're a beginner, then don't try this on your hand, try it on the chopping board. And then just separate the cubes. Now what I do is I wash the potatoes and then I put them into my pressure pan with some water in it, and about say 2 to 3 cups of water if you're boiling 4 medium-sized potatoes. And then I just put it on a high for 1 whistle. And once the whistle comes, I'm going to put the gas on low and then cook it exactly for 5 minutes, not longer. Then once the cooker or the pressure pan cools down, just take out the potatoes immediately. Don't let them lie in the in the pan for very long, then they become soggy. So this is how you get really firm boiled potatoes which are actually cooked and not raw, but they're not over boiled and they're not mushy. That's how we want the potatoes for this patal bhaji. So I've used about 4 medium-sized potatoes. So I thought I'd just show you how to chop the potatoes so that you get nice even size cubes. So even your dish looks really nice, and the cubes are all nice and even. And now I'll just take you through all the rest of the ingredients. There are not many ingredients, the ingredients that we generally have in our kitchen. So these are the the 4, medium-sized boiled, peeled and cubed potatoes. I'm going to use 1 medium onion that I've just chopped fine, 4 cloves of garlic chopped fine, 2 light green chilies chopped fine, a few curry leaves, about 7 to 8 curry leaves. Try to use fresh curry leaves. Half a cup of fresh coriander leaves, just for garnish. 1 tablespoon of udid or urid dal. Now this is my masala tin that I use, or my masala dabba that has all my ingredients. But we are going to be using half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera, half a teaspoon of asafoetida or hinga, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, and half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohori or rai. We're also going to use half a cup of water and some salt to taste and some oil for cooking. So let's start with today's lovely Goan patal bhaji. So I'm going to take a wide pan like this. I'm going to heat the pan up. Once the pan is heated, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of oil. Now once the oil is hot on a low to medium flame, we're going to add our mustard seeds. Now once our mustard seeds begin to pop like this, we're going to add our cumin seeds or jeera. Let the jeera get fried too a little. Then we're going to add the urid dal. Next goes in the asafoetida or the hinga. Next I'm going to add the chopped up green chilies. Now we're going to fry the green chilies really well. Now I generally use these light green chilies because they are spicy but not extremely spicy. You can use the dark green chilies also. I just try to use 1 then because those are really spicy. Then I'm going to add the curry leaves. Now you can keep the curry leaves whole, or if you like you can even chop them up and add them. I do that for some of the dishes, but here I'm keeping them whole. And now fry all of this bagar nicely. on a low, very low flame. Next, I'm going to add the chopped up garlic, and we're going to fry the garlic too till the rawness of the garlic goes away. So I've taken about 4 cloves of garlic, peeled them, and just chopped them fine. Now they say if you really fry your bagar very well, even the dish, the shelf life of the dish is also longer, and plus the taste is also delicious. Now we're going to add the chopped up onion, and we're going to fry the onion till it's translucent. So as you see in most of our Indian dishes, the bagar is very important. So you need to really fry all of the ingredients really well, of course on a low to medium heat. Never cook on a very high heat because then everything gets burnt and then it will not taste nice. Now I'm going to add this turmeric powder because it gives this patal bhaji such a beautiful look and a beautiful color. I mean, our food has to look nice so that it's, we feel like having it, and it should look really nice and appetizing. Now I'm going to add up potatoes. So for the thing for this is that you don't need to have overcooked potatoes. You need to have just the right, the firm potatoes, but they should be cooked. They should not be raw. So that's why I always pressure cook them for 1 whistle on high and 5 minutes on low, and immediately put the pressure pan off. And the minute the pressure pan is, cooled down, I just take the potatoes out and then let them cool and then use them for the dish. Now we're going to flavor this with some salt to taste. And I like to add a pinch of sugar, but that is completely optional. So if you would like to, you can also add a little bit of pinch of sugar. It just, elevates the dish, the flavor of the dish. And now mix everything very gently. Ensure that you don't break the potatoes up. So mix everything really well. And in today's video, I'm also going to show you how I make my whole wheat puris. It's super simple, guys. And this patal bhaji goes really well with the, puris. So now I'm just going to add half a cup of water, or just enough water that it covers up the potatoes. So you might have to use a little bit more, a little bit less. It just has to cover, cover up the potatoes a little bit, about an inch higher than the potatoes. And now we're going to put the flame on high, and we are going to let the water come to a boil. The minute the water starts to boil, we're going to lower the flame. And then we're going to cover and cook this for about 8 minutes on a very low heat. Oh, the aroma of this dish is really so beautiful and tempting. I just can't wait to fry the puris and just dig into this lovely dish. So now our potatoes are all ready. The patal bhaji is all done. All we need to do is add some kothimbeer or some coriander leaves for garnish. And just cook it for about half a minute after you add the coriander, and then turn off the heat, and your lovely patal bhaji is all ready. And I'm going to show you how I make these puris. So I've just taken about 2 cups of whole wheat flour, added a pinch of salt and some water, and made a dough like this, which is very, very stiff. It shouldn't be like a chapati dough or a roti dough. It should be really, really stiff. And then I've kept some oil for heating. Then you got to just rub, grease your hands with a little bit of oil, and then just make small balls like this out of the dough, even sized balls, and then press them down. So ensure that your hands are nice and greased with some oil, so that they don't dry up. Now our oil is heating on a low to medium heat. And now once I've rolled out, I'm just going to fry a few just to show you all on for the video. And then I'm just going to roll them out. Not too much or not too less. I mean, we don't want them very thin. They should be a little bit thick, about half an inch of thickness. And ensure that your oil is also very nice and hot. And then just put them into the hot oil. And then just press them down like this so they start to puff up. And once they puff up, just turn them over so that they get evenly fried on both sides till they're nice and golden brown in color. So you don't need to add anything. It's just plain whole wheat flour with a pinch of salt. You can even skip the salt if you don't want to have too much of salt. And just add a little water at a time and make it into a very, very firm dough. And then just drain all the excess oil of the puris onto a kitchen napkin once they're nice and fried. So today we had this patar bhaji with puris, and we had some amras at hand. So we had that too. So it was a real treat. So do try out these, this recipe of patar bhaji and puris, and do let me know in the comments section below how you liked it. I would love to hear from you. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you soon. So friends, let's make this mixed vegetable recipe. Now here I have one small cauliflower that I have washed really well and cut into small pieces. I'll leave a video of how to cut cauliflower in the link in the description box below. This is one medium boiled potato chopped fine, one carrot chopped fine, about 50 grams of French beans of recipe cut fine, one medium onion chopped fine. Now this is a paste of 2 light green chilies, 4 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger and half a cup of fresh coriander. Just grind this to a very coarse paste. Then we have some powder masalas. So here I have 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, half a teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala, 1/4 teaspoon of haldi and half a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder. This is homemade garam masala. I'll leave a link of how I make it at home. So these are the few ingredients that we require for this recipe, and it is a really delicious recipe. So now I'm going to heat about 1 tablespoon of oil in a pan, and I'm going to add this ground paste and fry the paste really well so that the rawness of the ginger, the garlic, the green chilies all goes away, and you get this lovely aroma of this chutney rather. Now once the paste is nice and fried, I'm going to add the onion, and I'm going to fry the onion till it's nice and translucent. Then I'm going to add all these powder masalas. I'll leave all the ingredients in the description box below. Mix everything nicely. Now I'm going to add about 1 cup of water, and I'm going to cook this gravy till it thickens up a bit. So mix everything really well. Now I'm going to add some salt to taste and about 1/4 teaspoon of sugar. And I'm going to mix everything well, and we're going to let this gravy cook on a low flame for about 2 to 3 minutes till it nicely thickens up. So this is our base for this recipe, or the gravy for this recipe. So let that simmer. In another pan, I'm going to add just half a tablespoon of oil. You can also use clarified butter or ghee. And once the oil is hot, I'm going to add all of these veggies that I've chopped fine. See that you wash all your vegetables really well. Like I said, I'll leave a link of how I chop up my cauliflower. They have an entire video about it. And mix these vegetables really well. Let them fry for about a minute in this ghee or oil. Now I'm going to add about 1/4 teaspoon of haldi powder or turmeric powder, and I'm going to make the flame a little higher from low to medium, and fry these veggies till they are a little bit crispy. So continuously stir the vegetables and just fry them till they're nice and crispy. And then you can turn the flame off. Now our gravy has nicely thickened. As you can see, we've been simmering it for about 2 to 3 minutes. And now I'm going to add all of these fried veggies into the gravy. Now what the frying does is that it just brings out the flavor of the vegetables. It makes the dish even more tasty and appetizing. And now mix everything well and just check the gravy for sugar, salt or any other seasoning if you want to add a little more of chili powder. And now we're going to cover and cook this on a low flame for 2 to 3 minutes. And our dish is all ready. All you need to do is just garnish it with some lovely freshly chopped coriander. onion pakoras or bhajis. Now first I'm going to show you how I'm chopping or slicing the onions. So I've taken 2 medium-sized onions, washed them really well, peeled them, again wash them, take out the center yellow part, and one half I've already chopped. That's why you can only see 3 halves over here. And then I'm going to take it on this side, and with a very sharp knife I'm going to cut it into very thin slices like this. And once you have sliced it, you're just going to separate them, slice them as thin as possible, and then just with your fingers just separate them so you get these lovely long slices like you would for a kanda bhaji. Now watch the video till the end because I'm going to show you how I finely chop the cabbage for this recipe. So in this way, just slice the onions really fine. So our onions are ready. Now I've taken 2 dried green chilies and I've taken 3 medium-sized cloves of garlic, and I'm going to make a paste of this. So I just like to chop it up because then you don't get pieces of the chili or the garlic remaining. And I'm going to put them into my mixer jar and grind them to a nice fine paste. You can also use a mortar and pestle. And this is what our paste will look like. So I'm just going to transfer it to a small plate. So now let's look at the other ingredients. So this is our 1 cup of cabbage. I'll show it to you as to how I slice it at the end of the video. This is our onion that we sliced. This is the paste of the green chilies and the garlic. Now here I have 1 cup of besan or chickpea flour. This is some coriander leaves. I'm just going to use about 1 tablespoon. Some salt to taste. Now these are a few powder masala. So here I have 1 teaspoon of ajwain or ova, half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder, and 1 teaspoon each of coriander or dhania powder and cumin or jeera powder, some water, about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. That's all we require for this recipe. So now I've taken a large mixing bowl. I'm going to first add the cabbage. Now remember, after chopping the cabbage, always keep it in your refrigerator, otherwise it starts to discolor. Then I'm going to add the onions. Then I'm going to add our chili and garlic paste. Next, we are going to add a little bit of the fresh coriander. You can add as little or as much as you like. Then go in all these powders and the ajwain and the ova. Then I'm going to add some salt to taste. Now the minute you add the salt, the onion will start to release some liquid or water or juice, whatever you might call it. So now give everything a mix. Now I'm going to just leave it aside, cover it and leave it aside because I want the salt to react with the onions and let the onions leave out some water which is going to be used for this recipe. Like how we do with kanda bhaji, whenever you cut the kanda for the kanda bhaji, you always set it aside, and then you see that a lot of water has come out of the onions. So now you can see it has become a little bit wet with all the onions. The cabbage, however, does not release much water. So now I'm going to add the besan or the chickpea flour. Again, mix everything nicely together. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water. So I used about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water. We don't want a runny batter. We don't want a pancake kind of a batter. We want a bhaji batter, a very thick batter. So I've just added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of water and then mix everything really well. Basically, the besan or the chickpea flour has to just coat the cabbage and the onions and all the other ingredients. But see that there's no dry flour left. So mix everything really well together, and then again you're going to cover this and keep this for about 5 minutes so that everything comes together very well. What you can do is you can heat your oil in the meantime for deep frying. So I've used about 2 to 3 cups of oil for deep frying. So this can be set aside till the oil is nice and heated up. And I've also kept a nice sieve over here. I don't like to put the bhajis on tissue paper or napkin because then it becomes soggy. So I always like to use a steel sieve or sift. Now once our oil is nice and hot, and remember to keep the flame on low to medium, not on high fire, because that way only the outside of the bhaji will get cooked and the inside will remain raw. So your oil has to be heated on low to medium. And now just pick up a little bit of the dough like this and just put it into the oil. Don't make it into round balls. Just pick it up as it is like this, and like you would with the kanda bhaji, and then put it into the oil. So don't form it into any shape. And they become nice and sticky because of the besan. So all the ingredients will come together. They should look like, little kanda bhajis or little crab cakes. So we don't want them to be in a particular form as such. And then you're just going to fry it again on a low to medium flame, just stirring in between so that they don't stick to the bottom. And then you're going to fry them till they're nice and golden brown in color. We don't want to have any of the raw bhajis, so fry them well. The first batch will take some time, and as the oil gets hot, it will get faster and faster. Don't leave it unattended, otherwise the bhajis will get burnt. And then after that, just take them to the side like this so that the excess oil gets drained off, and then again drain off the excess oil by putting them into a sieve or a sift. If you put them on the steel kind of sift or sieve, they remain crispy for a longer period of time. If you put it on tissue paper or kitchen napkins, they become soggy very, very fast. I've learned that over a period of time. So now whenever I do any deep frying, I always put it on a sieve or a sift, a steel sieve or sift. So in this way, fry all the remaining bhajis, and you can serve this with some lovely green chutney. You can serve it with some ketchup. I'll leave a link to how all the different chutneys you can serve this with. You can have it all by itself also. Enjoy this, guys, with a nice hot cup of tea or coffee, and watch the video till the end because I'll give you a few tips, and I'll also show you how to chop up the cabbage. And then at the end of, after frying all of this with the remaining hot oil, I just like to add 2 chilies, green chilies. They become nice and crispy and all the spiciness goes away, like you'll see at the end of the video. Just fry about 2 or 3 chilies, depending on how many of your family members or friends want to have some fried chilies. So make this recipe, enjoy it, and let me know your feedback. I'll catch you soon. Soaking it in water, and then I took out the top peel, and then I cut it up into half, and then I'm just going to take a sharp knife and just keep turning the half of the cabbage and slicing it thinly like this. So you just keep turning it, and then whatever remaining pieces are there, finally chop it again. So in this way you'll get these lovely shredded cabbage.